Hello, everyone. I wonder what you think you need. At the risk of sounding cliche, not what you want, because I want doesn't get, but what do you need, really need? On your screens now, you'll be seeing something called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow was a psychologist, and he wanted to try and understand what people really needed. And the idea is that you have to have the things at the bottom of the pyramid to be able to have the things at the top of the pyramid. So the first two layers are about our physical needs. So the very bottom one are physiological needs. That's things like food, water, things you need to survive. And the one above that, the safety one, is all about actually feeling safe. If we don't feel safe, everything we do is all about survival. And so we need those just to look after our bodies. But then the two above that, they're about our psychological needs. One's about love. That's about being known and knowing others, about feeling wanted. Very few people want to be truly isolated. We want to be understood by our peers, loved even. And the other one there is about esteem. That's about the respect, recognition that we see. And then his top one, which is well known for being a bit hard to understand, is self-actualization. But really that's sort of the language that you often see nowadays of living your true life, being your true self. What is it to be truly fulfilled? Who are you made for? What are you made for? I wonder where you want to place those needs you've just thought about on that triangle. Where do you have those needs? Well, I'm not going to go into too much detail other than to say this theory, although is very useful in some ways, is pretty well understood to be lacking. One place, although not the only, is the idea of faith. Where does one put faith or religion into this triangle? People have tried different approaches. One is to slot it into one of the already existing layers. Is faith around being loved or belonging? Is our faith or religion about our esteem, or perhaps about self-actualization? Some have tried to add it in as a separate tier, and others still have tried to put different sorts of faiths, different sorts of religions in different levels of that tier, depending on how developed they think those faiths are. I'm sure you've already spotted the very many pitfalls in that approach. Well, although I think there might be some ways you can do that, when it comes to Christianity, when it comes to what people used to call true religions, that is Christianity in its fullness, not just understood but lived, not just understood but experienced, I think it doesn't fit into that triangle, because I think that triangle fits into it. When God made us, he knew these things about us. When God set up what the religion of Christianity looks like, and going further back, Judaism, he did it in such a way that it helped with these needs, but then even more so. And so this fits into a much, much, much bigger picture. One of the problems with this, I think, is it misses out that our needs are more than just about us. From a Christian perspective, our needs are about glorifying God. And so I want to ask you again, what do you need? What do you really need? And I wonder, who gets to decide what you need? Is it you? Is it those around you? Is it a psychologist you never met? Or does God get to define what our needs are? I want to encourage us to look at the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, particularly, but also throughout Scripture, and to ask that question, what does God say we need? Because I think we get a different answer, or at least a bigger answer, than what Maslow provides us in this triangle. What does God say you need? And have you got that? Have a good week.